Hello everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Gates channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama updates and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. The tension does not end there, because the deeper these characters dig into their own problems, the more difficult it becomes to tell who is truly in control. Chelsea's situation remains especially unsettling, with every unanswered call adding another layer of fear to an already fragile state of mind. Knowing that Allison is locked away should have given Chelsea relief, yet instead, it creates an even darker possibility that someone else has deliberately stepped into Allison's place. That realization could force Chelsea to reconsider everything she thought she knew about the threats surrounding her, and the uncertainty may become almost as frightening as the calls themselves. Until she discovers who is behind the hangups and what they truly want from her, Chelsea may find herself constantly looking over her shoulder, wondering when the next call will come. At the same time, Heather's greatest weapon continues to be her ability to hide in plain sight. Smitty believes he is pursuing the truth about the Impaler, but Heather has positioned herself close enough to him that she can potentially learn exactly how much he knows. Martin's presence makes the situation even more complicated, because anything he and Smitty discuss around Heather could become another piece of information she can use to protect herself. The danger is that Smitty may feel completely comfortable around her, never imagining that the woman listening so carefully could be connected to the mystery he has spent so much time investigating. Heather understands that trust can be more powerful than intimidation, and by acting vulnerable and harmless, she may be able to make Smitty lower his guard without realizing it. The closer she gets to the information she needs, the more dangerous this game becomes for everyone involved. Then there is Andre, whose connection to Heather threatens to open an entirely different door into the Impaler mystery. Confiding in Ted could be an emotional turning point for Andre, because revealing the truth about his past may mean admitting things he has tried desperately to keep buried. Ted may not be prepared for everything Andre has to say, especially if the confession exposes just how deeply Andre became involved with the plasma ring. For viewers who have been waiting for answers, this could finally provide a clearer picture of the connections between Andre, Heather, and the Impaler. Yet, revelations rarely come without consequences. And once Andre speaks, there may be no way to put those secrets back into the shadows. What begins as a private conversation between an uncle and his nephew could ultimately have repercussions that reach far beyond the two of them. Meanwhile, Joey's conversation with Randy could provide another crucial piece of the puzzle. Randy has been watching Heather closely, following her movements and collecting information from the sidelines, which means he may have noticed details that Heather never expected anyone to see. Joey now has the chance to learn what Randy has uncovered, and the information could either confirm his suspicions or completely change his understanding of Heather's behavior. The danger for Heather is that she cannot control every set of eyes watching her, no matter how carefully she controls her own image. While she is busy convincing Smitty and Martin that she is innocent, Randy may be quietly uncovering evidence that tells a very different story. If Joey realizes how serious the situation really is, Heather could suddenly find herself facing pressure from multiple directions at once. And while all of these secrets threaten to explode, Tyrell's storyline offers a more intimate, emotional contrast. His breakup with Jessica continues to weigh heavily on him, and the pain of losing someone he cared about can make even ordinary moments feel empty. But June's decision to stand beside him gives the storyline a warmer emotional center, reminding Tyrell that heartbreak does not have to define his future. She can help him see the qualities in himself that he may be struggling to recognize right now, slowly rebuilding the confidence that the breakup has shaken. Her support cannot erase what happened with Jessica, but it can help Tyrell understand that one painful ending does not mean his entire world has fallen apart. Sometimes, healing begins with simply having someone nearby who believes in you when you are not yet ready to believe in yourself. As Tuesday's drama unfolds, the separate pieces of Beyond the Gates begin to feel increasingly connected, with every secret carrying the potential to affect someone else. Chelsea is desperate for answers, Heather is manipulating the people closest to the investigation. Andre is approaching a confession. Joey is receiving fresh intelligence. And Tyrell is trying to recover emotionally with his mother at his side. Vanessa, meanwhile, stands on the edge of a major change that could take her life in an entirely new direction. Whether that decision involves her career, her relationships, or both. Nothing feels completely settled, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes the episode so dangerous. Behind every calm conversation is the possibility of a hidden motive. Behind every secret is another revelation waiting to emerge. And behind every emotional decision is the potential for consequences that cannot easily be undone. By the time the Tuesday episode reaches its most intense moments, viewers may find themselves wondering just how many secrets can remain hidden before everything finally collapses. Heather may believe she is several steps ahead, but Smitty's investigation, Randy's surveillance, Joey's questions, and Andre's possible confession could all begin closing the distance between her and the truth. Chelsea's mysterious calls add another layer of suspense, creating a separate threat that could become even more disturbing if the person behind them makes another move. At the same time, Tyrell's heartbreak reminds us that Beyond the Gates is not only about mysteries and dangerous secrets, it is also about people struggling with love, loss, family, and the difficult process of finding the strength to move forward. With so many emotional and dangerous storylines moving at once, Tuesday's episode promises to leave viewers with even more questions than answers. And in a world where everyone seems to be hiding something, the biggest question may be simple. Who will be the first person to finally reveal the truth? As the pressure continues to build, Chelsea's fear may become impossible for the people around her to ignore. What began as a series of mysterious phone calls has now transformed into a much deeper question about who could be watching her and what they might want. The fact that Allison has been confirmed to be in lockup removes one obvious suspect, but it does nothing to explain who is actually behind the hangups. That uncertainty could make Chelsea even more vulnerable emotionally, especially because she has already lived through the trauma of being kidnapped and knows firsthand how dangerous an unseen threat can become. Every unexpected ring of the phone could now feel like a warning, forcing her to wonder whether the person on the other end is simply trying to frighten her or preparing for something much more serious. Until the identity of the caller is exposed, Chelsea may have no choice but to live with the unsettling feeling that someone is deliberately invading her sense of safety. While Chelsea struggles with that fear, Heather continues walking a completely different kind of tightrope. Her strategy depends on appearing calm, approachable, and completely disconnected from the danger surrounding the Impaler investigation, even though she knows far more than Smitty realizes. Smitty has built his reputation around digging into difficult stories and exposing information others would rather keep hidden. But this time, his investigation has brought him face to face with someone who can manipulate the situation from inside his own circle. Heather's ability to listen, observe, and quietly steer conversations could allow her to learn exactly what Smitty and Martin have discovered. The frightening part is that neither man may recognize the danger until Heather has already collected everything she needs. The longer she remains close to them, the greater the possibility that the truth about the Impaler could become a weapon in her hands, instead of evidence against her. That danger becomes even more significant when Andre's past begins pressing against the present. His potential decision to confide in Ted could represent the first real crack in the wall of secrecy surrounding his connection to Heather. For Andre, telling the truth may not simply mean explaining what happened. It could mean facing the consequences of choices he has spent a long time trying to distance himself from. Ted may become the person Andre trusts enough to hear the truth, but once that truth is spoken aloud, it could take on a life of its own. If Andre really does have a connection to the plasma ring known as the Impaler, then his confession could finally explain why Heather has become such an important figure in this tangled story. What has seemed like a collection of separate mysteries may suddenly begin fitting together, revealing a much larger picture than anyone expected. And as Andre approaches that possible confession, Joey is also moving closer to Heather through Randy's surveillance. Randy has been following Heather around town, carefully observing where she goes and what she does. And that kind of persistent attention can eventually reveal patterns that even the most careful person cannot hide. Joey is about to receive information from Randy, and the timing could not be more significant. If Randy has uncovered something that links Heather to the strange events unfolding around them, Joey may finally have a reason to question the innocent image she has been presenting. Heather has been relying on secrecy and manipulation, but surveillance creates a problem she cannot easily solve because she may not even know exactly what Randy has seen. The moment Joey receives that information, the balance could begin shifting, putting Heather in a position where she has to react instead of controlling the situation. Vanessa, meanwhile, appears to be reaching a crossroads of her own. Her decision that it is time for a huge change suggests that something in her life has reached a point where continuing as before is no longer possible. Whether that change involves her business ambitions, her romantic life, or both, Vanessa seems prepared to make a move that could alter the course of her future. Big decisions rarely come without emotional consequences, especially when they involve people who have become deeply connected to our lives. Vanessa may have spent time weighing her options, questioning what she truly wants, and wondering whether remaining in the same situation is worth the cost. Now, with Tuesday approaching, it looks as though she may finally be ready to act, and whatever she chooses could send another ripple through the lives of those around her. For Tyrell, however, the struggle remains much more personal and painfully familiar. His breakup with Jessica continues to weigh on him, leaving him to deal with the kind of emotional emptiness that cannot simply be pushed aside. Even when the world around him is moving forward, part of Tyrell may still be caught in the memories of what he and Jessica shared and the disappointment of seeing that relationship come to an end. But June's presence gives him a reason to lift his head again. As his biological mother, she understands that sometimes encouragement is not about pretending everything is fine. It is about reminding someone that they still have value even when their heart has been broken. June can help Tyrell rebuild his confidence little by little, giving him the emotional support he needs to stop defining himself by the breakup. Her love may not immediately heal the wound, but it can give him the strength to begin believing that better days are still ahead. What makes this Tuesday episode especially compelling is the way these very different emotional journeys are unfolding at the same time. Chelsea is searching for the identity of a mysterious caller. Heather is manipulating Smitty and Martin. Andre is standing on the edge of revealing his connection to the Impaler. And Joey is waiting to hear what Randy has discovered about Heather. Vanessa is preparing for a major change, while Tyrell is fighting through heartbreak, with June helping him find his confidence again. Each storyline carries its own question, but together they create an atmosphere where nobody seems completely safe and nobody can be certain what revelation is coming next. The characters may believe they are handling their problems separately, yet their secrets are beginning to overlap in ways that could produce consequences none of them can control. And as the pressure rises, it feels increasingly likely that someone will eventually make one mistake, say one thing too much, or uncover one secret that changes everything. By the end of the episode, viewers could be left looking at the entire situation differently, especially if Andre finally opens up to Ted or Randy's information, gives Joey a clearer picture of Heather. The mystery surrounding Chelsea could also deepen rather than disappear, particularly if another unsettling call arrives and proves that the threat is still active. Heather may continue smiling and pretending that everything is normal, but beneath that calm exterior, the walls around her could be closing in from several directions. At the same time, Tyrell's emotional recovery offers a reminder that not every battle on Beyond the Gates is fought through secrets and schemes. Sometimes, the most important victories are the quiet ones that happen when someone finds the courage to move forward. With romance, heartbreak, family loyalty, deception, surveillance, and a dangerous mystery all colliding, Tuesday's chapter promises to keep the tension high from beginning to end. And as these characters step into the next stage of their stories, the biggest secrets may be closer than ever to finally coming into the light.